Hello， 大家好，歡迎收睇 Pure Living。今日咧又好高興幫另外一位客人去收鎖匙啦。咁位置我喺邊度呢？今日咧就嚟到 Burton-on-Trent。咁依間屋咧後邊咧就係全新起嘅半獨立屋，咁就係 Bellway Homes 嘅。咁上集咧其實我哋都有介紹過Bellway Homes 嘅新盤啦。咁基本上嗰時咧係做咗個 home demonstration。咁我都知道嗰集係非常之受歡迎啦。咁今集咧又係收鎖匙同埋做個 home demonstration。咁事不宜遲啦，馬上去片。
Okay, so shrinkage you are going to find in the reveals of your window boards. You might find them in your skirtings and you might find them on the ceiling lines. Unfortunately, it's not covered in the warranty, but it is an easy fix. A bit of polyfiller, a bit of paint, and that will resolve the issues. There is ways to prevent it happening. If you're in the house during the day and you put your windows on a security catch throughout the property, this will allow ventilation into the house, and it just basically gives it a natural process of the house drying out rather it being kind of hot and stuffy and forced drying. The problem is if when the house is being forced dried, you can get excessive shrinkage and there can be very large gaps between a pound coin, etc., and it can get really excessive and look ugly. So we just kind of make it very important that you should know that obviously it is very well important to ventilate the house. There is other ways of preventing it as well. If you are out the property and you're going out for a long period of time, I recommend you don't put the windows on the security latch, as it will avoid your house insurance. So if there was anyone to break into the house, it's not valid. So I can't reach, but the trickle vents, we recommend you just open them throughout the property again, just to let ventilation come in and out the property.
And the air vents, they could be all open.
They can be open. It literally, I can't obviously because I can't reach, but they just flick up, and that just allows the natural airflow to come through. I have got a couple of questions I would have wanted to ask obviously the homeowner with fitted wardrobes and things like that. However, I'll just treat it as they're going to have fitted wardrobes. So if you're going to have fitted wardrobes, we recommend at least an hour or 2 hours a day to leave the wardrobe doors open, as this can build up a lot of moisture. It can create a lot of mold just from the damp area. So if a couple of hours a day, leave the doors open. This will prevent that, just gives it a natural airflow again. Regarding furniture, again, the house is still in a drying process. Having a lot of furniture backed up against the walls is going to cause mold. Again, build up damp just because you're blocking the area from drying out naturally. Again, it's normal. It's not nothing to be worried about. It's easy fixable. But again, it's not in the warranty, as we're explaining, as should. If painting and decorating, if you are going to paint and decorate, we don't recommend it for the first 6 to 12 months, as the house is still in its natural drying process. However, we can't tell you not to. We just recommend, if you are going to paint, we recommend use a breathable paint. Wallpapering, again, we refer you not to, but if you are going to and you can't wait, then by all means. But again, we won't really get involved with any snags or anything if any wallpaper has been applied or you've painted any walls. This is the base substructure of the house. This is what we would snag within the warranty. Anything touched, obviously, has been voided. Going back to the windows, it did used to be a regulation where we wouldn't provide window keys for the upstairs windows for fire hazard protection. Basically, this is your fire emergency escape route. In a potential fire hazard, whether it would be in this room or downstairs or anywhere in the house, this would be your fire escape route. It is quite high, but unfortunately that is what it is. The windows, again, I can't reach. They do have a good perk on them. They have an easy clean system. And how it works is there's a button just here. You just clip that down, and there's one also at the top. And then this window just slides along to roughly around here, and you can get behind to clean the windows. So, but it's completely up to them if they want to have a window cleaner or they can do it themselves. Right, then I'll go on to the electrical. So, first things first, I'll start off with the light switches. So the light switches, which is over here underneath the thermostat, and your aerial, they will be the only cables that will be running up. Now the cables will never snake out of their zone, and when I say zone, class this as your zone. The cables will always be within that socket plate going up. They will never come up and go over here. It'll always be within that 150 zone. So if, for instance, you wanted pictures, mirrors, or etc., they can go anywhere they want as long as it's not above any of the TV aerial points or the light switches. The sockets, they all run down. All on this floor and downstairs, they will run down. So anywhere on these walls, you can put mirrors, pictures, etc. As for your radiator pipes, same goes. This, I'll show you on the back of here. There's a little pipe here with a fixing that will run along to the end of the reveal, and that'll go straight down to the bottom. So you've not got to be mindful of hitting any pipes around this area. You're absolutely fine. That's that. Just going back to shrinkage quickly regarding the thermostat. The current room temperature of this room is 24.5 degrees. Now that's fairly warm. We would recommend kind of not to go above with the thermostat above 20 degrees, as it's kind of a forced dry in the house and will bring out a lot of shrinkage. In this case, summertime, you can't help what the room temperature is going to be. That is unfortunate. How this works is you can set it on a traditional, which is this little hand here. So traditional, by when I say traditional, if you wanted this heating to come on, you would have to go above the room temperature, which if I go to 25 or 26, it will flash. A flame will come on by the bottom, and it will go back to the room temperature until it builds up until it gets to the temperature that you've set it to. Again, going back to the traditional way, if you wanted the heating off, all you have to do is go below the room temperature, and that is that.
Controlling just this room.
That is controlling the whole, the whole of upstairs. Sorry, so it'll be this room and the room below. Yeah, so this room and the room below. What was it? If you did want to set it on timed, again, I won't go through and set it on time because it will already have its programs, which I'll let you know. The timed is on there, and you can go through the times, and you can go through the days, the times you want to set it. But at the moment, this is programmed to come on at 6 in the morning and to go off at 10 in the morning, to come back on at 6 in the evening and go back off at 10 at night. But I won't play around with that. I'll let them set as to times they want. But for now, I'm going to leave it on the traditional, so they can turn the heating on as and when, as they want and how they please. Any questions up to now? No? Okay, one last thing quickly up here. Regarding, obviously, I'm not sure if they're having any TVs on the wall mounts or anything like that. If so, it's not a problem. If they're fixing any TVs onto any stud walls, just be mindful of the weight of the TV, to be using the correct fixings for the bracket that's to be installed. I'd be mindful and read the manufacturer documents just to say what is suitable, the weight, and etc. etc. Last thing we want is pulling down any walls or the TV to come off the wall. One other thing you should know, sorry, that I missed: the TV aerial point. You will need to have an antenna fitted. For the aerial point. The aerial cable is in the loft located, but again, if you want to watch normal TV, you'll need an antenna fitted. Site don't provide that. That's something you kind of have to do yourself. However, if you have an internet broadband, and you're not using normal TV, it will run on a broadband regardless who it is, Virgin. Yeah, that's fine. Right, move on to the loft quickly. So it's important really this is an NHBC warranty. You've got an NHBC warranty that lasts 10 years. We recommend that absolutely nothing goes in the loft. The reason for this is because if you do any structural damage up there, then again that 10-year warranty is gone with it, NHBC. People like myself, I'm not going to lie, I do leave empty suitcases and Christmas trees. That's not going to have an effect on the roof falling down. Put it in a terminological way, the roof trusses are designed to hold the roof and the roof only. They're not built for storage. But as I'm saying, a suitcase and a Christmas tree is not going to hurt. It's just when them things get forgotten about and you start throwing X, Y and Z up, the weight becomes more excessive and then damage can start appearing. And again, if any damage does come, Bellway are not reliable. But again, if it happens naturally, 10-year warranty, everything will get sorted. Smoke alarm, you should have 3 smoke alarms and 1 heat detector. I won't go too much into the heat detector yet, but this is the smoke alarm. They are wired to the mains and do run upon a battery pack. We recommend we test them at least once a week, and by testing them, just a click of this button for 2 seconds. They're fairly loud, but if you notice, you could hear the ones downstairs. They're all interlinked. If they ever bleep every 30 seconds, it means the batteries are running low. Again, they should be absolutely fine. They're brand new batteries. They should get a good year life out of them. But if anything, you could always give us a shout and we can replace them, but they should actually be fine. Little scenario here. If, for instance, there was a power cut and there was a potential fire in the house, these will still work due to running on the battery also. So again, a good little perk, good to have. Don't have to no worries about them not working. Other than that, that is that. If we just go into the dressing room, this is an access panel. This is clearly solely for the ensuite. If there's any problems behind, I'm going to show you behind the boxing. Obviously, you've got your cistern behind here for your toilet, your flush. This is accessible. You can take this off, but if the saw pipe is actually in that room behind, so if anyone needs access for any reason, that is the access panel to go through. Again, basics. Probably already know how to use a toilet, but it's got a single flush and it also has a double flush. The double flush, hold it longer, it gives us a better flush, a long-lasting flush. You've got easy push fit plugs. These just pop down to release. That will allow the water to enter the waste. If you push down, that will allow the bowl to fill up. And then again, just to release, just allow the water to go down the waste. Easy clean system. So these do come off. Any clogs or anything blocked down there, easy enough to clean. There's a lot of room. We recommend once a week to clean them. Again, just to keep on top of it. It just means less blocks really, you would have less problems with them. Most importantly in here really is using the shower. It's going to create a lot of steam. Again, just going back to shrinkage, if we use the extractor fan, or we can use the window for just some source of ventilation. Obviously the privacy up here is it being a 3-story, you've got plenty of privacy, so with the window open nobody can see. The best format of ventilation would be the window rather than the fan extractor, but it's either or whichever you prefer. But again, just to prevent a lot of shrinkage really. Shower is a thermostatic shower. Oh no, this is an electric one. So the power source for this should be, yes, so this will need to be on in order for the shower to work. Again, it's got your thermostat is the big bar at the bottom, so your left will be your cold, to the right will be your hot, and you've got all your settings at the top, eco, mate, all high, and that's that. Regarding the trap, there will be water below here, which I'll show you. So, oh God, they've not done that properly. I'll get that sorted out. There is water in here. That is, a lot of people think there's a blockage. It's not. What that is, it stops any foul smells coming up. You'll know if you've got a block if you run in the shower and the tray starts to fill up and you've got a block, but that's absolutely fine and normal to have water in that trap. That is it up here for now. Stairs. I know there's a lot of shrinkage I'm talking about. But this, along this stair string here, as you can see, there's some here. You see, this is what I mean about shrinkage. That is minor. That is what you're going to see appear around the house. It's just natural. You are going to find that on the stairs. This is probably the worst place you will find the shrinkage. Again, it is an easy fix, but if it does get too excessive, then Bellway will sort it out for you. Okay, right. Middle.
Do those little bits count as snags?
See, no, shrinkage wouldn't count as snags. It'd only count as a snag if it got very, 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 very excessive. And by when I say excessive, it would need to be thick like a pound coin. Right. Again, it's just general maintenance. It does happen in new builds for the first, 6 to 12 months, depending on the period of time, the season. Sure. Summer normally is a quicker process for it to end. Winter is quite longer. But if you stay on top of the maintenance and the ventilation with the property, the trickle vents and opening the windows, it should be fine. I'm not saying it won't appear, it will, but it will not appear as bad as it would as someone not looking after the property. Again, going back to the door we spoke about, this is obviously the door for privacy. These are fire doors, so they're a lot heavier than your normal door. The doors that were not fire doors will be your wet room, so it'll be the ensuite, the bathroom and the cloakroom. Every other door in the property will be a fire door. You get extra time. If there was a fire, you'd get a longer period of time. Right then, so I'll just go in this bedroom, use it as an example. Everything that we've been through upstairs will correspond to this floor also. Yep. So that will be bedroom 1, bedroom 2 and bedroom 3. Same for the lights fixings, all the cables will be going up. For all the sockets, all the cables will be going down. And then we go downstairs and it quite changes. So yep. I'm ready to go downstairs. Okay. All right.
So you were saying the heating thermostat upstairs controls
this and yeah, so it controls the master bedroom and all of this floor. That will be zone 2. Yep. We'll just have a look in here. So you see them? They are your heating zones. So the one on the left is zone 1, which will control downstairs, and the one on the right is zone 2, and that will control both top floors. Right. I'm not sure if there's any kids, but obviously we recommend these to not be played with. If at any point these zones do come off, then the heating will not come on. Yep. They have to be on in order for the heating to work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's that. So downstairs. What I'll do, you can still record at the end and I'll go through the snagging process of how it works.
You didn't even go through this?
Now, everything is literally the same.
I don't know if you noticed it, the bathroom.
Okay, that just needs clipping back in, that's fine. I can get that clip back in, that's fine. No, everything from the ensuite will correspond in here again. So, using the fan extractor for ventilation, no shower in here, but the bath still gets steamy and the windows and things like that. Absolutely fine. Go in the lounge.
Is there a water cylinder in there?
No water cylinder, as it's there's a combi boiler, but there's not a system. If that's what like a boiler.
Yeah.
There's no, because it's a 3-bed. We only put the big system in a 4-bed for pressure. Right. You'll have a combi, but I'll show you when we go in there. Right then, lounge. So. Slightly different. Cables in this room and other rooms are now going to go up. So it doesn't mean you can't put any pictures or any mirrors, etc., or any TVs on the wall. That can still go ahead. You just need to be more mindful as where they're going. So obviously, talking about the zones again, this obviously potentially no picture within that zone there. Anything either side, you're absolutely fine. Radiator, I'd imagine that's going to run and go straight up towards in between the joists there. So kind of a no-go zone, but anywhere around here you should be fine. Mm-hmm. This area here is quite a restricted area. I wouldn't suggest putting anything on there, but like I say, if you're just mindful, you can get a couple of tools that you can detect cables with and things like that, and water pipes, and they're quite useful, to be honest, just to avoid any damages. Mm-hmm. We're in the grass. I may as well, obviously there's some that have quite slightly died here. We probably will get that replaced. Maintaining the grass obviously is summer. It's going to kind of need quite a lot of water each day. This grass may have taken now as it's been in for a couple of weeks, but don't worry too much about this stuff here. We'll sort that out. But yeah, it is going to need quite a lot of water, at least an hour a day, just to keep it healthy for a few weeks, and then it should just take by itself.
Yep.
That's that. Right, kitchen. We'll go through the warranties for appliances.
So for reference, the fence looking
Yep.
down,
Which
which side is it? Did you know from
How do you mean?
which side is the owner's taking?
Owner's right. It's all changed now. So, in theory, this side
Is it
it's
left?
left. No, but it's all changed. So it's shared. So, this fence will be shared with plot 529.
Right.
This fence at the back will be shared with plot 531. Sorry, and this side will be shared with plot 527.
So each side is
So
shared
each side is all
responsibility
shared responsibility. So, for instance, if
as
you
per like the deeds.
yes, so if for instance, if you wanted to paint, no worries. I'm not sure if it's actually allowed as of yet to paint. I think you have to wait the 2 years, but I can find that out. But if you wanted to change, for instance, if you want to change the whole garden, you want to change the fence panels, you got to agree based with your neighbours. To be honest with you, I think everyone would be sound with that, but we've not had no problems with anybody around here. Everyone seems fine. We have had a lady at 531. She has painted all her fence charcoal grey, and it has seeped through the larch lap, and we have had a couple of complaints, but Bellway don't really get into too much with the customers' complaints with neighbours, because it's nothing really to do with us.
Right.
But yeah, it is allowed. It is allowed. It's acceptable. Not a
Right.
problem.
Okay.
Right, onto the kitchen. Right, I'll start with appliances. So you should have cooker hood, 1 appliance, gas hob, 2 appliance, oven, 3 appliance, and a fridge and fridge freezer. I don't think there is a dishwasher in here. No, so no dishwasher. So important is to register these appliances. You will get 2 years warranty with all appliances. However, the warranty will start from the day that you legal complete, so which would be today, the 24th of June. It's best just to get them registered as soon as possible. If anything happens to them, again, you're covered. You can get them replaced, or they might change a part and they get sorted ASAP. If, for instance, you moved in and you left it 6 months down the line before you registered them, it would all go, the warranty will fall back to your legal completion date, so you don't get an extra 6 months on. It just goes back to the day you moved in. With the cooker hood, it does work in 3 stages. So if you want to pop around here, so if I was to go to stage 3, it wouldn't work. Your main supply power source will be 1.
Right.
So you have to turn 1 on, enable for 2 to come on, and turn 2 on, enable for 3 to come on. If I turn 1 off, they all shut off. So that is your main power supply. They are these are easy clean. They are these are the filters, obviously, to stop any of the debris, the gas, the grease and stuff that build up. They are dishwasher friendly. However, obviously there's no dishwasher. They are also, you can wash them. They are very delicate, easily damaged, but again, they are able to be cleaned. Gas hob. Let me see if the gas is on. Yes, the gas is on. Right, good little perk these have. If I turn the flame off and turn the gas on, listen, it's sensing there's no heat, so it detects. It will cut it off as a safe point. It's a good perk, really. The only downside to it, I would say, if the window's open, it's a windy day, and the flame's on, it's going to blow it out, but it will automatically terminate the gas. You'll find your gas valve, isolation valve is in here. If at any point you want to turn the gas off, you can isolate it from there. But again, it's completely up to you. If you're traveling away abroad or going away for a long period of time, it's probably best to turn that off. Main water supply, stock tap is just this. Well, hold on. That's the garden. So the main, I'll go with the garden first. Garden one is up here. like I say, they're all labelled. Left is to turn on, right is to turn off. Only really thing you should know with the garden tap is winter time. It's probably best to turn this tap off and turn on the outside tap just to get rid of all the water that's in there, just so it doesn't freeze. Summertime, you're absolutely fine. Main stock tap to the house for the water is just down here. Again, it should have a label, which it has down there. Left will turn it on, right will turn it off.
That one back there?
That one just here, yes. That is the main supply for the water to the house. For instance, if there was a leak somewhere in the property, this is the place you'd run to turn the water off. Obviously, you can give us a call and we can come and have a look. You give us a call, we come and have a look. We're quite generous like that. We'll have a look, see what the problem is, because it might generally be just a general leak, or if it's something that's been penetrated, then obviously it's going to be quite different. But couple of good points with these. I recommend if you're going away for a long period of time, when I say a long period of time, a long weekend or a week or 2 weeks, probably best to turn the water off. For if there was any potential leaks in the house, it's not going to be as much damage as when you come back to the property. Whereas if you leave it on, if you have got a leak, it's just going to constantly drip, and you can come back to a mess really. An even better source is you do have a water meter on the front, in just outside right of the lamppost. If you turn that off and drain the system by emptying the house of water, if there is any potential leaks, then nothing can leak because the house has been emptied. There's no water in there. So when you come home, turn all the taps back on. If there is a leak, then you'll identify it, and it just causes less damage. Going back to the oven, obviously before using this, I recommend it's depackaged, which it is, but just put it on a 40 minutes to an hour burn. As it being brand new, it will have a chemically smell. Again, just an hour, 40 minutes to an hour should be fine. Just let it burn all that residue or what it is, all the brand newness out of the oven, and it'll be good to go. Last thing you want is the food tasting awful. Let me just check. Boiler I want to do.
So with certain things like this is, I'm guessing it's for the
washing machine. Washing machine, yeah.
Is it possible to put a hole there? There's no hole.
Obviously
put the pipes through.
We're not supposed to. However, me being me, I'll sort that. Okay. We're not supposed to, but yeah, I can sort that. What I'll do though is I will right. One other thing. Just let them know that you're probably going to need an extended hose and an extended waste pipe for this washing machine. Reason being is because they only normally come with a meter, a meter hose. It's got to go round and back through. So obviously the waste has got to go on here, and the inlet for the water has got to go on here. So they're probably going to need it extended. You could probably go Curry's about £4, in between £4 and £6. You'd be able to get one. But yeah, they definitely are going to need that. But regarding the hole, we can get that sorted. That's not a problem. Fridge mains, we've sorted that. Right, boiler. I did forget to tell you there is a room stat just here. So this is the exact same as what we first spoke about in the master bedroom, although this one will control just downstairs. So yeah, that again, it's set at traditional, so you can just flick it up as and when you want it on or want it off. If you want it off, make sure it's below the room temperature. Again, you can set these ones to timed also. Same process, timed, and you can go through the it'll go when you go through them. I won't mess with it, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can set your times. Set it back to traditional. All right, that's that. Again, I'm not going to tell anybody how to clean. We've all experienced on how to clean really, but it's just another tip. Be mindful what you use on the work surfaces. Some products can have a reaction with worktops, and it can peel it away. So if you just read the manual on the products, what you use, and that should be fine. Normally soapy water is good enough anyway. But I know a lot of people use a lot of substances, but it can have an effect with the worktops and any of the units or anything, even with your gas hobs and things. Other than that, that is mainly the home demonstration, but I do want to go through a couple of bits and bobs. So,
was there anything to show for like to the garage?
Yeah, we can go outside. Do you want to go outside as well?
Yeah,
we can go outside. That's fine. That's fine. I was going to get everything signed up, but that's fine. We'll go outside now to the garage. So, there's not a hell of a lot. Obviously, you have a personnel door. You will also have your electrics here. You'll have one double socket. You'll have your light switch either end. So you'll have a light switch down there for as an entering the personnel door, and one for the garage, which is here. Again, there's not too much to know with the garage. The roof trusses. People have asked in future, can we store things up there? Again, I'm going to say no. The roof trusses are designed to hold the roof and the roof only. Again, if anything does happen, anything is stored in between the roof trusses, then again the warranty is gone because you've caused it. But generally, there's enough room in here to have storage, you know. Then we need screwing in, so screw that. But other than that, the garage space fit and big enough for a car to come in here. We have had people taking Jeeps, so there are plenty of room for any cars. There's plenty big storage area also.
Car parking spaces.
So yes, this is the car space. This is potentially their drive, enough for 2 cars. Yeah, this is.
These are
gas and meter box. So you got your electric box. Not locked. Electric box. This is where I currently took the meter readings from.
Yep.
From this point here.
Yep.
And the serial number from here.
Yep.
You also do have a smart meter. Again, I won't put this in the plot. I'll leave this in the electric box.
Yep.
It's up to them if they want to use it. Again, if they plug it in, easy to set up. Just turn it on and away you go. I've got the key inside. And gas box is, I don't think it's open. No, gas box, again, that's with gas meter. Any, if you want to take monthly readings every month, this would be the place you come to, or you could use your electric meter box, okay? So what I want to do, I just want to go kind of through.
How come there's 2? Is it
2, the pots, drain pots.
Oh, okay.
These will be, one will be for the ups, these will all be linked into each other, all of them, but this will one be for downstairs, and that one will be connected to your kitchen as well.
So where's the meter for the water?
For the water, that is here. That is here for the, oh, I ain't going to get that up. Let me see that I want. No, I'm not going to try that without bending the key. But this is where you'll find the water meter. Again, this only got installed Tuesday, so that should be on the meter reading. I should have put it as 000, but I've put a couple of units on there anyway just to cover. Okay. So we'll have a look at that now.
And then obviously broadband.
Broadband, yes. So that's your Virgin on your right, and OpenReach on your left. Like I say, fibre optics are already in, but you don't have to go with OpenReach or Virgin. That's just somebody we use as a starter. But if you want to go with Sky, Talk, that's absolutely fine. Sky, we recommend that you have the dish either on the back of the house or the side, nothing on the front.
嗱，睇完依間 Bellway Homes 嘅半獨立屋3房咧，係咪覺得非常之正咧？咁我自己認為咧，其實都做得好好嘅。咁有啲嘅 snagging item 當然都同發展商嗰度去解釋啦，同嗌佢執一執嘅。咁但係咧，其實我都知好多 YouTuber 啊都會介紹新盤嘅，但係我哋純粹咧都係想介紹下唔同嘅 home demonstration 啦。今集又可以同 Bellway 去合作，咁係非常之好，係可以同你哋大家去分享嘅。咁記得如果中意呢類型嘅影片咧，記得 comment、like 同埋 share， 同埋撳響個鐘仔。咁今集就講到呢度啦，下集再見，拜拜。